Hey developers, welcome back to Full Stack Advanced. In today's tutorial, we're building this fully functional calculator app using React and we're styling with CSS. So for this calculator app, you'll be able to do basic operations like adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. In this project, you learn to manage dynamic inputs with usestate, you learn to evaluate expression, and also you learn to style with modern CSS. This project is perfect for beginners who are just starting out with React, and you can hide this as a stunning UI to your portfolio. So let's build this from scratch. Basically, this is what we're going to be building. We have this gray background here. Then we have the calculator app itself at the center. So in the calculator app, we have several buttons here that have functions. So let me just add this 7 plus 9. You can see we have the answer here 16. If I can delete that, let's do 9 times 3, 27, which is correct. Let's do 8 divided by 2. So we have the results here 4. So we have, let's do 1.1 plus 2.3. You're going to create the result 3.4. So you can do basic calculation with this calculator app. Now let's build this with React. So now you're going to open your code editor. I'll be using VS Code. Then you're going to navigate to terminal. Click on new terminal. We're going to be using git bash for our terminal. And we're going to create our project folder in the terminal. So first off, we need to change directory to our desktop. Then I have a folder where I create the 30 days code. So I'm going to change directory to the folder. Now let's create our React app. npm create vit at latest calculator app hyphen templates React. Press enter and ensure you're connected to the internet. So now we're going to follow this step. Let me expand this so we can see. Now we're going to change directory to the project folder, cd calculator app. And then we're going to install React dependencies, npm install, press enter. Now that we have installed React dependencies, we're going to open our project folder in a new window in VS Code. So you type in code space full stop, then you press enter. So now we're going to close this and we're going to open this properly. So I'm just going to expand this now. So we have opened our project folder in a new window in VS Code. This is our source folder, app.css, app.jsx. Now let's navigate to terminal, click on new terminal, and then we're going to start our server. Now you're going to type npm run dev, then you press enter. Once the server starts, you're going to get the link to view your React app in your local browser. Click on follow link, and you should see the default React app, which is this. So our counter button is working, everything is working. Now I'm going to change the text that we have here and the h1 tag. I'm going to change it to this. Let's see if it's going to reflect. Okay, we can see the text here. Subscribe to my channel. This is a reminder for you to subscribe to my channel. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, like, share, and also drop a comment on what you want me to build next. So the next thing now is to clean up our React so that we can build our own preferred React app. So I'm going to close this, then Control A, select everything, then delete REFCE to create React snippets. To use REFCE, you need to have this extension, EX7 React Redux React Native extension. So just search for the extension and install the extension. Then I'm going to delete app.css, the index.css as well, Control A, delete it all. So for the entire body, I'm going to set the margin to 0, padding to 0, then the background color will be gray, the height will take 100 VH. So this is what we should see now, this background color. Then back to our code. In our source folder, we're going to create a folder, calculator. In this folder, we're going to create two files, the GSX and CSS file. So we're going to have calculator.gsx. Also another file, calculator.css. Here, REFCE to create React snippets. And now I'm going to mount the calculator components here. So we should see calculator right here. Now let's build our main calculator app. So I'm going to close this as well. So first, let's design our UI. I'm going to delete this. For this div tag, I'm going to give this a class name of calculator container. Then inside this div tag, we're going to have our input field, and the type is going to be text. Then we'll have a class name. We'll give a calculator input, and it's going to be read only. Okay. Then we're going to create our button. So right here, I'm just going to have buttons. So we'll have the first row. Let's have a div tag first. Calculator buttons. Inside the calculator button is where we're going to have our first row. Calculator first row. So in the first row, we're going to have the clear, then we're going to have the divide, multiplication, and we're going to have clear, divide, multiplication, and minus symbol. So right here, I'm just going to create 4 buttons. Let me close this. So the first button here is going to take C for clear. Second button, we're going to use an HTML symbol. Divide. Then for the next button, times. The next button as well, minus, the minus symbol. Okay, so we have 3 buttons here. Each of these buttons will take a class name, symbol, and we'll only exempt this one. This will have a different class name. The clear will have a different class name. So this is the first row. If we check this now, this is what we should have. This is what we have now. Then we're going to create the next thing, which is the number buttons. So right here, we're going to have 4 buttons. And we're going to have 3 buttons next. After that 3 buttons, we're going to have 3 buttons as well. Then we'll have 1 more again. Okay, so this first 4 here, I'm going to separate it from the closing to the beginning tag. Okay, and it's going to take these numbers, 7. The next one will take 8. The next one will take 9. And this one here will take addition. Okay, and this will have a class name, plus, to signify that this is a symbol right here. Now I'm going to separate this as well, the next 3. So the first one will take 4. The next button will take 5. The next button will take 6. Then I'll separate this as well. This one here will take 1. The next one will take 2. And this will take 3. Then lastly, for this button, this one here will take 0. This one here will take dots. And this one here will take equals to. And I'm going to give this a class name of equal. So basically, this is what we have. This is what it should look like right now. Now we need to write the function that is going to undo the calculation, evaluation, clearing, and everything. So we're going to head over here. The first step here is to get inputs, because that's the first thing here. We're getting input. As a calculator, you need to get certain inputs to perform basic operations, right? So we need a state variable that is going to store the input and also a setter function to update the input. So we're going to have const inputs, setter function, set inputs, use states. By default, we're going to initialize it with an empty string. Next thing is to create a function that will take in value. So we're going to call that function handle click be equal to, we'll pass value here as prop. Okay, so inside this function, we're going to update the input state using the previous value of the inputs. And then the function passed to set input is going to receive the current state, which is also the previous value. And then we're now going to return a new string by concatenating the existing input with the new value that we clicked on. So basically, this is what I'm saying. Set input, we'll pass in previous value. Then we'll have previous value, concatenate it with the current value. So this is the function that is going to take in a value. Next step now is to create the function to clear the input field. I'm going to name that clear input. So we're going to have const clear input to take an empty parameter, and we're going to update our input using the setter function to an empty string. Okay, so this is the second function, and the third function is the function to calculate results using evaluation. Okay, so I'm going to name the function handle eval will be equal to, we're going to use the try catch block here so that we can handle error. So in our try block, we are going to evaluate and convert results to string. So right here, we're going to set input, evaluate it, the inputs, then we're going to convert to string dot to string and use the toString function. So we're evaluating and converting results to string. Then in the catch block, we're going to set the input. If there's an error, it should display error. Okay, so we've created the three functions that is going to undo everything. Now let us use the function where necessary. So first off, our input is, the type is text. We need to take in value, and the value should be stored in the input right here. This state variable should store the value that this input field is taking. So right here, I'm going to pass in value. I'm going to take inputs. So we're storing the value that this user is going to type in this input field in the input state variable. Next thing here, this is the first button here is to clear. So we're going to use, so if the user clicks on this button, C is representing the button. So if the user clicks on it, we want to clear the entire input field. So here, we'll use an onClick method. We're going to use an onClick function to call the clear inputs. Okay. Then for the other buttons, next is for these three buttons here. So we're going to call the undo click function right here. We're going to call this function. So here we're going to have, I'm just going to select everything at the same time. No, not the first one. I'm only going to select this thing. We'll call the onClick method, onClick function. And I'm going to have undo click. Then we're going to pass the value. Okay, just like we have it here. We need to get the value for this parameter. So we're going to pass the value here. This is going to be divide. This is going to be multiplication. And this is going to be minus. Okay, we know what this undo click function is for already. So I'm going to do the same thing right for every other one. So I'm just going to copy this to make things faster. And I'm going to paste it right here. Let me just select everything. Paste. I'll do the same thing here. Select it all. Paste. Do the same thing here. Select. Paste. Do the same thing here. select and paste. Okay, now we're just going to change. This is going to take 7. The value is going to be 7. This is going to be 8. This is going to be 9. Okay, and this is going to be plus. This here is going to take 4. This here will take 5. This will take 6. This here will take 1. This will take 2. And this will take 3. This will take 0. And this will take dots. Now we have the last button, which is our evaluation button. We're going to call the undo evaluation function. So right here, we'll use an on-click method as well. On-click. Then we'll call the undo evaluation function. Okay, so basically we just set up our calculator app. So let's test if this is going to work. Let's do 7.8 minus 6.3. The answer is 1.5. If I click on the clear, nothing should be in the input field. So let's do 7 multiplied by 4. The result here 28. Let me clear again. 4 plus 9. The result is 13. Good. 9 divides 3. The result is 3. Okay, good. Let's do 7 minus 9. The result is minus 2. So everything is working perfectly well. The next thing now is to style so that it can look like this. So we're going to start with we'll continue with the body. Okay, so here, display would be flex, justify content, center, align items, center. Okay, now let's style our calculator app itself. So first off, we need to import our CSS file, enter our JSX file, calculator.css. Then we'll start styling. We'll start by styling the calculator container itself. So right here, the background color, background black, padding of 2 rem. We're going to have text align, center, text color, white. The width should take 300 pixels. Then we're going to have border radius of 1.5 rem and a box shadow of this value 0, 20 pixels, 40 pixels, and this color code 0, 0, 0, 0.3. Then the next things to style is the calculator input. So I'm just going to close this. Okay, calculator inputs right here. Dots, should take a dot. So we're going to set the width of this to 100%. We'll set padding to 1 rem. The font size to 1.5 rem. We'll set the border to none. Then we'll set the border radius to 0.75 rem. Margin bottom 1 rem. Text align right. And we'll have background of black. And the text color will be white. Okay, next thing is the calculator buttons. So for the buttons, display will be grid template repeats 4. Then we'll have a gap of 0.75 rem. Then we have our button, the button tag itself. So we're going to have button. We'll set the padding to 1 rem. We'll set the font size to 1.25 rem. background color, just background. So this color code, 0.2. Then we'll set the border to none. The text color will be white. The cursor, pointer, and I'm going to have transition. All 0.2 seconds is. Now if you hover on the button, we're going to add the effect to it as well. Over. You should have this color code. So I'm just going to copy this, where it will be a shade background. So this is going to be 0.3. So it's going to be a shade lighter. Then we have the clear. Okay, so we're going to style this separately. Grid colon span 1. And also it will have a color code. That button will have background. So for the one, okay, then we have the equals, the plus, and the symbol. Okay, I'm going to style symbol. We're going to have the same background. It's going to be the same thing, so I'm just going to paste this right here. Then we'll have the equals and the plus. This is plus right here. Grid colon span 2. That means it should take 2 spaces. And then we're going to use the same background as well. Then we have the equals, which is the last button right here. The equals, grid colon span 2 as well. And we're going to have the background color of this color code. Okay, let's see. Now we have this. Okay, it doesn't actually look like this, so we need to make some corrections. Okay, so for plus, it's going to be grid row, not colon. So this is going to be grid row. Okay, and for, let's see. Okay, so this is what we have. Now we just need to add the border radius to it. So let's add border radius to the button. We're going to have border radius of 0.75 rem. Okay, so this is what we have. 7 minus 3, we should get our result 4. Clear. 1 times 6 will definitely be 6. 773 plus 452, 525. Clear. 789 plus 648. Clear. 741.2 plus 689.7. Okay, so this is a simple functional calculator app that we've built now. So guys, do not forget to like, subscribe, share, and also drop a comment. Thank you, and see you on the next one.